Hey guys, this is Kamiken, and this is a video about how I used the very basic lesson of drawing through your forms when drawing to turn my stuff from flat images like this into more dimensional images like this. This was just a sketch, and this was also a sketch, but it looks like they're actually in space. And these were just from using basic principles of drawing that once you just consider them while you're creating, you will be able to make your stuff look more dimensional and a little bit more professional. And these principles are using the shapes and forms and applying perspective, overlap, scale, foreshortening, and proportions to them. What that means, or what that kind of looks like, would be in this image here. What you have here is a drawing in which all these ideas are portrayed correctly. The shapes that are used to create their bodies are in perspective, like the background is. There's a scale to it, in that she appears smaller than him because he's in the foreground and she's further away from the camera in the background. So then overlap, you can see that his torso is actually in front of this arm because it overlaps. There's a line that overlaps with this arm coming out in front. And so then this arm recedes to the back because this form is now in front. And then scale, in that you can tell that these items up here are smaller than him because they are smaller in the background, and if he were to recede in the background, he'd be about her size, and she's already in the background with these items, so that means that she's way bigger than these items. That's scale. Then foreshortening, you can tell that this is an upshot of this guy because his torso is foreshortened. It's not fully drawn out like it is in this panel here. We're looking up at him, so it's a little less foreshortened and more, or it's a little more foreshortened and less stretched out, if you will. And then proportions, that's making sure that his arm is not longer than his leg, and that it's in perspective to the point where his upper body is not longer than his lower body. This is all able to be conveyed by using the very basic of basics in terms of art knowledge. And this is something I've been ignoring for a very, very long time. I used to just draw kind of like this. Okay, got a cube here. And that's kind of what I would use. I would just use a cube. I drew the outsides of the cube and I thought that's all I need. But then how am I going to find out how deep this leg goes? Like, if this were a pelvis, how would I find out how deep this leg is supposed to be? How would I attach a leg to this? How you attach that is by drawing through the form, which means you're going to figure out where the back half of this cube is. And so you draw through the form, and now you have the back of the cube. You have the depth. That's the missing dimension that I've been ignoring for so many years. And not on purpose. I just learned it and forgot it. And I was wondering why my pictures didn't look as dimensional as they could have. And so now that we have this level of depth, we can get this circle and then I guess make another circle, make this one smaller, and we can just keep adjusting within that space. So now we know the depth of this leg because it's just a basic cylinder. And you can extend it out all the way to the side if you want. And then we know the depth of this leg because it's just a basic cylinder. The legs kind of overlap in a tangent there, so okay, there we go. So now you know the depth of that leg. And since this form is in perspective, we're looking, the horizon line would be up here, and we are looking down at this. So every line for the leg is going down like this. And we're going to draw through the form so that we know what the back of the leg is like. Now if we want to put an item behind it, it won't look out of place because we know the exact depth of this leg because we figured it out by drawing through the form. So if we want to draw through, we have that figured out. And now now it won't look like this is somehow intersecting into the leg, because if we erase, we just have a fully formed item in space, and they're separated by their depth. And that's just what I've been learning recently. I hope this information has been helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one.